I got blamed for throwing a pizza at Alex Ferguson, Sir Alex Ferguson.
Yeah, and then when I moved to Arsenal, I found out he was Cess.
It's not me. You see, I took that for years.
You did. You didn't say nothing.
Of course not.
Take one for the team.
Of course not. But I got blamed for it.
Ashley Cole, thanks for doing this. Welcome to the podcast. It's great to have you.
Thank you for the invite, and I'm really looking forward to it. Left back, fellow left back.
Fellow left back / centre back.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
/ striker, but we'll talk about it later.
Yes, we will.
You don't need any introduction, but still. You know, before preparing this conversation, I've looked up on internet, you know, the Bible of the young generation, and I couldn't find much, you know, but obviously you've been introduced all over fame not long ago. But in your own words, could you introduce yourself to the audience?
Ooh, good question. Good start, Nick. Okay, my name is Ashley Cole. I am a former Arsenal, Chelsea, England, Crystal Palace, which we'll come on to because it was a very important part of my life. And I'm 43 years of age. I have a lot of white hair and grey hair. And I'm a humble East Londoner, if you understand what that means. I was brought up in East London, which is, you know, famous for many, many things. You know, we've created some huge history from that area, but also some huge history in terms of making Premier League players.
Not bad as an introduction. So yeah, I know a bit about London. Obviously, I've been playing for Arsenal, and I discovered London after my career as well. But it's a great city. It's a great city and produced a lot of top talent in football, in other sports as well. Looking back at your childhood, you know, football meant a lot. Why is it? What do you think that football took so much in your life and meant so much in your life early on at that young age?
I was raised by a single mother. I had an aunt and uncle that was very dear to me and very close to me. You know, it was my mum's sister. I wouldn't say the goodies you could get or the lifestyle I lived at such a young age. It wasn't great. I didn't have a lot growing up. But the household was full of love, right? You know, my mum looked after me and my brother. I have a brother 1 year younger than me, and the love that she gave me and my brother was endless, was amazing. She was an amazing mother. But the actual area where I grew up, it was tough. It was hard. It was rough at moments. So, you know, I certainly had a balance of outside of my household. You know, I had a persona of, I was super small, right? I was still the same size at this, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 years of age. And you had to be tough. Or the city, the estate would gobble you up and eat you up. But in my house, I was, you know, a calm kid, did not ever want to get on my mum's bad side because my mum, if she flipped, she flipped. Okay. But I had huge respect for, obviously, what my mum did. I used to see her, you know, she worked in my school, she worked 3 or 4 jobs. And we had to follow her and traipse around while she was in these jobs. But I saw like a work ethic, like, yeah. And there'll be loads of people out there like that, right? I'm not saying my lifestyle or my upbringing is different to many. It's not, but I give you my story and you know, what I had to go through. The estate was really, really hard and you had to be tough. But my household was a hard-working background. You know, my mum, as I just mentioned, 3 or 4 jobs and super loving in the house. I think that was the foundation of, you know, from what I was to what I am now. I've certainly tried to take them lessons to my kids and my way of life. Don't get me wrong, there's mistakes I would have done down the line, but in general, I have tried to be respectful to people, you know, try to be humble, but have a hard work and dedication to everything I did.
But who gave you the bug of football in the house or around with your friends? Was it your friend? Was it TV? Was it the coaches?
It was friends, really.
Friends?
From the age of 7, that is when I started. Right. And it was a school friend, very, very close friend to me. His dad wanted to start a Sunday league team. It was called Puma. He wanted his son to be in the football team. And I remember like my mum getting a phone call saying, John's on the phone. He's talking about they're going to start a Sunday league team. Would you like to go down? Like, okay. It was in a local park where I live. I had an opportunity to go and spend more time with my friends, which was great. Did I like football at 7 years of age? I couldn't tell you right now. I can't remember that deeply to go, I love football before that. I don't think I did. But from the age of 7, that is when I was introduced to football. And you know how it is, at 7 years of age, you ain't got a clue what's going on.
Yeah.
We had probably a trial with 20 odd players and everyone's just chasing the ball and running around. But I certainly got the bug from then on. So
and it grew up in you?
It did, yeah.
It did.
You know, again, being East London, you know, we always say the home of football, whatever. It was on the streets, it was in my schools, it was in my primary school. It was everywhere.
24/7.
24/7 was a football. You know, even if you play, we used to call it a game called Kirby. So 2 curbs, and we used to, even the ball's in your hand.
What's a curb?
The curb of the road.
All right.
So where the cars drive.
Yeah.
Some areas had big curbs, some had small curbs. I would stand on one side of the curb, my friend would stand on the opposite side of the curb, and you have to throw the ball and you have to bounce it off the curb and catch it.
Okay.
It has to go over the halfway of the road, middle of the road. So it was like silly games that we would play, but it was always around a football. Yeah, that was just the upbringing of it, of not being into football, trying it out as a 7-year-old, and then now it's everywhere, you know, in schools, everyone is playing football. And that just, you know, I continued the love of the game.
Yeah.
And it was fun. I love playing it. When I got addicted to it, I was addicted to it and I wanted to be the best I could.
So between that moment when you start at 7, going through this Sunday team, to signing for Arsenal Academy as an apprentice, I guess?
So from 7 till 9, just say was the fun element of football, right? And then you get picked up, they call it, you get picked up and scouted for your local teams. And at one of our games, we ended up being very successful as a Sunday league team. So we transformed our group and team. Within 2 years, we was, in our area, one of the best teams around. And this is when I was a striker. And probably from the age of 9, that is when I got scouted. And you would sometimes go and train at Highbury. It's called the JVC Centre. It's a massive arena, AstroTurf, and you train indoor. And then in summer holidays, you might go and represent Arsenal. You play for Arsenal where they see you develop and see how good you are. So from probably the age of 9, that's when I understood it gets a little bit more serious. From 9, it certainly was getting serious. You know, some kids were way more talented than me. And again, we'll go on to it, but I was a striker. I was probably, my attribute was just speed. I could just run. I couldn't kick my right foot.
It's a good start.
It's a good start. And at that age, you know, speed kills.
Yeah.
And literally, I was just a striker and I used to just run behind. I was quite good at dribbling, but I wouldn't be doing step overs. I wasn't that kind of player. I was midfielder gets the ball, or fullback gets the ball, they put it behind, I run, I out sprint people. And then in front of goal, I was quite calm.
So Arsenal, take me to Arsenal. You signed
So I take you to Arsenal, transitioning from a striker. So from the age of 7.
When is it coming, that transition from
About
striker
16.
at 16?
Yeah.
And why is that?
So my first year in YTS, so you got the first years and then you have the second years. I was a first year in Arsenal youth team. The second year left back, I think he done his cruciate in like the first training session of pre-season.
Wow.
Literally, I was that lucky. You know? They said, Ash, you're wanted to go up.
From first year, you get to...
First year, I went to play up a year.
A year.
And the year...
And that's a big deal.
I think it is. It is. It really is.
Okay.
At that age, because I just mentioned, you know, you have to be physically strong enough, really. Because, again, it's not adult football, but it's kid football. And from 13 to 16, there's a massive jump.
Yeah.
I went from 7 to 13, 14, 15, and then 16 going, I'm a striker. And then having to now go, what do? You've put me left wing now. So, okay, one back,
left
one
wing.
to the side, left wing. Okay, I can just
still
attack,
attacking position,
but still had defensive responsibilities. I'm like, where am I supposed to go here? I can't run up and down. I can't attack then defend.
Why? You think you don't have the stamina at the time?
I probably didn't know I had the stamina. I didn't like it. I only wanted to attack. You know, that was in my brain. I want to attack.
Okay.
I wasn't a selfish striker, but I'm attack. I wouldn't know where to run to defend. And then I think they might have changed the shape, the formation, and we played wing backs. So now I'm playing left wing back, which is, okay, it's a little bit better. I've still got to attack, but now,
You have a
even more responsibility to defend. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. So for the first 2 years, I did get a name for myself within football, I think, at that age group, going, wow, who's this kid? Who's this kid, man? He's up
Flying.
and down. I'm flying.
Yeah.
You know, and I was super aggressive. I had to be really, really tough. So from 16, I had 2 good years in the youth team, right? So I played up a year, but within my second year, you also play reserves. And again, in England, our reserve football was every senior first team player that didn't play they played in the reserves.
Same in France, yeah.
So to make into the reserves, again, was, wow, what an achievement. I'm 16, 17 years of age and I'm playing reserve football and you're playing against men.
Yeah, because there was no under 20.
Exactly. So I played with, I had the fortune to play with Overmars in the reserve game.
Wow.
I played with Petit in a reserve game. I played with Ian Wright, Chris Kawamia, but all these players were my idols.
Yeah.
And I'm getting to play with them at such a young age. That also gave me, I have to be tough. Now you're playing against men. You're playing against men, and I'm an 18-year-old scrawny, as I keep saying. I have to find a way to be strong. I have to find ways, when people pin you. Now I'm a left back. When people hold you off, I'm like, I'm never going to be able to fight and tussle with them because they're too strong.
Yeah.
So that's when I had to start using my brain and my footwork to go, okay, well, I'm sharper than them. I can move quicker than them. Do you know what? Maybe I'll do like a double movement to go, I'm going to run this way, you move, and I'm going to and get in front of you. So that is where I honed in, I think, on my defensive skills because I understood my weakness was strength. I can't outfight anyone.
Yeah, you have to anticipate.
Exactly.
I think before you did that pretty well.
Yeah, I did. I think that was one of my strengths, but that was due to the fact that I had to work harder.
I can picture you in anticipation, interceptions a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. Tackle was good, but tackle is always the last weapon.
Yeah.
And I want to go back to a few episodes when you were playing at Arsenal and I was playing for Manchester. I was listening to some comments about the Invincibles. And on the way to achieve this amazing record, took some points at Old Trafford.
Yeah.
And it was controversy after controversy. The sending off of Patrick. You remember that game?
Yeah.
And Martin going crazy on Rude.
Yeah.
It was absolutely nuts. And I'm glad in a way that at that time we didn't have social media. It would have been a disaster.
Yes.
So just we had the papers, we had a little bit of TV, but thank God. What was the atmosphere in the dressing room after that game, especially that game? It was early on in the season.
Yeah. I don't want to use the word hatred. I say hatred, but it was respect and admiration for we knew how good you guys were. We knew if we want to win leagues, we have to finish above you. We knew with the characters you had, we had to be fiery, we had to be feisty, we had to win a tackle, but sometimes leave a little bit more. We knew we had to win every individual battle, physically, mentally, emotionally, all the emotions you have. We needed that to play well against you and to beat you because you certainly had key individuals that if 8 players wasn't playing well, you had the three players that can kill you and hurt you. And we knew we had to play at 110% just not to lose. 110% don't guarantee you a win. It was, we might not lose a game, but we knew we had to be on it.
Who was the most vocal about it? Was it the players, some players, the manager, Arsene Wenger?
No, I think you know Arsene. He's not that way inclined. He's not a nasty man. He's not a rude man. He's very respectful. So it's more geared by the players.
Okay.
Again, the fear.
But was it collective discussions about the way to approach the game, or it was just individual players smelling like this is the way we have to approach the game and to fight?
Yeah, Arsene, tactically, we wouldn't do that much tactics because he really felt it was all about us. But what he would have said, you know they're going to kick you. You know they're going to kick Reyes. They know they're going to
never.
You know they're going to kick Freddie.
So nice. We were so nice.
Yeah, I bet. So we knew what this game was about already. I don't think we needed Arsene Wenger or Pat Rice to tell us the enormity of the match and what we had to do. But it was more the players going, come on, we have to stick together. We have to fight. We have to be together. We still got to play. We want to play our football. But we knew we had to be tough. And even, you know, bless his soul, Reyes, he was tough. He got booted everywhere, but he was a tough guy. Freddie got booted everywhere. We had some tough players.
We had to give those players a special treatment.
Of course, like
special
you would.
welcome.
It's normal. It's normal, and I get it. Love give a few special welcomes as well to your players. But no, again, I think it always goes back to the respect, you know, for your manager, for individually and you as a team, what you created, you know, so much history.
But you saw some of the challenges there was.
Yeah.
Nowadays,
yeah.
They would have been like 4 or 5 red cards.
5 game ban, and 5 game ban. We was like leaving studs in people and no.
But still shaking heads at the end.
100%.
You know?
That's why I say is the respect and admiration because, you know, you was great competitors.
Yeah.
And, you know, we was always trying to catch you and emulate what Manchester United was about. You, in my eyes, was the greatest club in England. Manchester United is the greatest club in England.
You know, one of the motivation for us was that these guys, these Londoners, they've got the media, they've got the power, they've got the wealth. They are a bit like this, you know? So it was like the people, the blue colours against the white colours. That was one of the motivation for us. And yeah, I mean, at Manchester United, all of the players came from, you know, modest background. So we understood that and what it meant to the fans. And because I'm coming into 99, there is already history. But still, I don't feel it until we go to Highbury. You know, I got sent off.
Yeah.
Highbury.
Yeah. But why did you get sent off?
I'm having a fight with Dennis. Dennis is towards the end of his career.
Yeah.
Not as quick, but he's good at grabbing my shirt, like putting his elbow in my face. Or, And after time, Carlos Queiroz told me, you need to be stronger with Dennis Berg. I'm like, okay. So we do the same. At one point, I push him, and Freddie Ljungberg comes to me, and already I was gone. He comes to me in Swedish or English, I don't know what he says. Come very close to me.
Yeah, and you
give him the headbutt him. So, red card. We are leading at that point. It's 69 minutes. I go to the training, to the dressing room. Yeah. It's been the longest 25 minutes. Huh?
The N2-2?
4.
Are you 4-2?
4-2. John O'Shea, ding at the end. And Ronaldo. That was the longest 25 minutes of my life.
I can imagine. That lost us the league, that game.
Yeah.
The league was done, I think, after that, you know. But again, you had so many great players, you know, and again, you came to England and probably understood that I have to be tough. Yeah. You know, the league was tough. Them altercations happened for me every Saturday. I was fighting with someone. Because I tried to kick him or I just wanted to win. And I think that is what the Premier League was about. This is why I love the Premier League so much.
Yeah, still aggressively, but not as much, obviously. It's a bit more dull at the time right now. And so there was that incident and then the Pizzagate.
Yeah.
I Googled it before and it's also called the Battle of the Buffet.
Yeah. I got blamed
and it's on Wikipedia as well.
I know. I got blamed for throwing a pizza at Alex Ferguson, Sir Alex Ferguson.
Yeah, and then when I moved to Arsenal, I found out he was Cesc.
It's not me. You see? I took that for years.
You did. You didn't say nothing.
Of course not.
Take one for the team.
Of course not. But I got blamed for it. I would never. Look, I don't think he meant to hit him in the face. Perfect. I don't think.
No, because there was so many people, he couldn't see what he was.
Yeah, he just threw it.
Yeah, exactly.
But no,
it was madness on that corridor. You couldn't throw a punch. There were so many people.
I know. It's like, our 23 squad against your 23 squad, plus the subs, plus the managers, plus your stewards and security. Yeah, it was carnage.
It was mad. It was mad. But yeah, and you know that invincible run that you had, because it wasn't social media, we were not too fussy about it. I mean, it didn't mean a lot to us. But when you came to Old Trafford at 49, we're like, this is it.
Yeah.
They're not going to do 50.
Yeah.
We've got to stop them before 50.
That was
And
our
today is the day.
dream.
And the best player on the pitch that night was Phil Neville.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Did he play midfield?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he played in midfield.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, the referee was on our side, clearly. But
Of course.
we took it.
Of course. But no, you know, when you talk about the Invincibles, the characters there, you know, the belief. And I think Manchester United was renowned for it, you know, always either equalising or winning in, you know, the last minutes of the game. People just think, you know, that's easy, or it's the referee. They want to blame the referee for giving you a pen, or whatever it is. But the resilience you've shown to continue for 95 minutes, you know, with a mentality, we're going to score, we're going to score, we're going to score. We also had that. Everyone will go, they were lucky, they didn't win every game, they drew some games, but
There's no luck. There's no luck.
we was mentally strong, and we never gave up.
Never gave up.
Never, ever gave up. And we pushed each other. We had a togetherness, a family environment. And I know it's exactly like what you went through, but that is what makes leaders, champions, winners. And again, that's why Arsenal, Man United was so historical in the battles we had, because we had so many players of the same mentality.
We miss it, don't we?
Yeah. I wish I could. Don't regret anything, you know, it is what it is. But I do miss going out in front of the fans and enjoying the football, and, you know, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. But we get old, my friend.
Yeah, we do. But it's like wine. Huh?
Wine.
We get better. Right, so obviously we shared the same manager, not at the same time, Arsene Wenger. Top man, top coach, mad about football. Football is his life. You know, it's unbelievable. I'm still working with him on some project for FIFA, and I meet him a lot. And he knows so much knowledge about the game. It's unreal. If you could describe him, whether it's in 3 words or longer, how do you feel?
He was certainly laid back, humble, and knowledgeable. I think he knew the game inside out. You know, he certainly had his way that he wanted his team to play. He used to kind of really give us a feeling of, no, you just play. But ultimately and indirectly, certainly for me, I made so many mistakes when I first started to play for Arsenal.
But he was happy for young players to make mistakes.
He not once in my Arsenal career did he tell me off or go, actually, that's wrong.
This is extremely important what you're saying now, because my son is 11 years old, and I see coaches yelling at players from 9, 10, 11 years old. This is wrong. This is really bad for the well-being, for development of players. And you telling me that Arsene Wenger, who is playing as his job on the line every single weekend, more or less, is leading one of the top football clubs in the world, is giving you the freedom and the backing to play in the Premier League when there is so much at stake. It means so much. So you understand there is something wrong at youth, and he had it right all the way.
Yeah, there's different ways to coach, right? We talk now, Alex Ferguson, hairdryer in your face, you know, put the fear.
That was occasional, you know.
Yeah, that put the fear of God in you, right? You know, I've got to play well today because I don't want the hairdryer. You have an Arsene Wenger that, the way he coached, he allowed you to make the mistakes. He allowed you to learn on the job. You certainly have to be a different type of player, though, because I feel if you certainly have to know the player that you can allow to do that.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because I feel if you went your whole career as a manager and you didn't tell a player that he was wrong or he needs to be better, I think that's a problem.
And you see, it's interesting because I feel like Arsene kept the same management with all the players, which means that the players that you mentioned are not capable of understanding what his management style, they wouldn't stay at Arsenal because they would keep doing the same mistakes again and again and again, and they don't develop and they don't reach the level. And then they are no good to Arsenal, so they moved on.
No, totally agree. And again, I was really lucky as I was playing in the first team. The experienced players I had around me was Tony Adams, Lee Dixon, Martin Keown, David Seaman, and they helped me a lot, alongside Pat Rice, who really, took a lot of time and effort on the training pitch, doing the extra bits.
So you see, you did extra bits.
I did. No, of course I did extra bits. I would just get maybe 10 balls. Pat Rice will pass a ball from a midfield into my feet. I would open up, different variation of, a whip down the line, a driven ball over the top,
to find the winger, to find the midfield player.
A driven ball over a centre-back's head, and you think, Thierry's diagonal run, Perez diagonal run. I might wrap a ball into midfield. So that was the extras. 5 minutes, 5-10 minutes, just 10 balls into my feet. But I did it. With Wenger, I made mistakes. And I go back to that. And he knew maybe he didn't need to tell me, Ash, come on. I was a young kid. But I tell you, he was telling me, Ash, come on. Martin Keown, Tony Adams, don't do that again. Come on, you're better than that. The standards, the levels. So I had all these people around me that helped Wenger not have to manage someone like me. He didn't really have to manage me. But again, that's good coaching. He's aware of
the surrounding.
Yeah. Ash don't need me. He's got Tony Adams playing next to him.
Yeah.
If Ash don't do it, Tony will tell him. That's the qualities of coaching.
Yeah.
But again, as I mentioned, I'm not going to mention names, but I feel some players that he tried to do the same to, they didn't understand it. They didn't get it. Now that becomes a problem.
Yeah.
Now that becomes a problem.
For sure. That's self-awareness.
Exactly. Sometimes I thought he could have gone, come on, you need to be better. You need to do better. I will help you. But sometimes staying quiet, are you really helping someone? We're not all the same, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe this player needs a little bit of that.
Yeah. Can't be perfect.
Exactly.
Can't be perfect.
Exactly. Yeah.
How many titles with Arsenal?
2.
2.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
Only one with Chelsea.
Nice.
Crazy.
You have your reason to go to Chelsea. We know a bit of drama around the move. Not easy to move from a London club to another London club, whichever it is. But you make the move when Jose is there. He has started his revolution. Adding you was mastermind from him, honestly. You played so many years over there. What are your best moments and your worst with Chelsea?
The worst moment is, of course, losing the Champions League.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah. 2008.
Sorry, 2008.
2008. And then, of course, my favourite moment is winning the Champions League with Chelsea. And I say that because my time at Chelsea was, I'd say, indifferent in terms of I wish I won more titles there. But what we was up against was a Manchester United team that was also
pretty good.
So it was hard. That put a lot of pressure on my back.
On you specifically?
Yes, because you have to think, I left Arsenal.
Oh, yeah.
I go to Chelsea and I want to win. And I'm chasing to win. And yeah, we won FA Cups. We won the Carling Cup, Carabao Cup, or whatever it was called at the time. But I wanted the league. That was really bugging me. Mm-hmm. Really bugging me. And it was like, come on, I need to win the league. I need to win the Champions League. Then to get to the final against Manchester United and we lose. I'm like, this is football. I can maybe never, ever have an opportunity to be in the final again.
I was in that competition for 9 years. 1 year with Inter Milan and then I joined United. It's only the 9th attempt with Manchester United that I win the Champions League. So I was in there for 10 years. It's a long time.
It is. You're playing against top teams, top players, and everyone has the same mindset, right? They all want to win. Yeah, I carried a lot of it certainly wasn't self-doubt, but it was just pressure. Every game, boo, Cole, boo, wherever I go. And it's like, here we go again. I just want to play football. I just want to win. And that actually drove me to want to win even more. I become even more obsessed in trying to win. I didn't like the feeling. I didn't like it.
Yeah, you don't like to lose.
I didn't like it. And then, against Manchester United, you lose, and I'm like, I'm never going to do it. And then 2012 was, coming towards the back end of not just, I think, my playing career at the highest level, but, Didier was getting old. Maybe we'd never have another chance.
Yeah.
Frank was getting old. John Terry was getting older. Petr Cech was getting older. There was like a core of players that we felt was, this is our last chance.
Claude Makelele.
No,
it was
Mikael then.
Mikael, yeah. Chernobyl, Mikael.
Yeah.
So, Jose Mourinho. I met Jose a few times. Very nice person, very knowledgeable as well about football. Could you also describe him in 3 words or maybe more?
Yeah. Organised.
Yeah.
Prepared. And ruthless. And again, difference between when you leave Arsenal is a big move, right?
Mm-hmm.
The facilities at Arsenal was top. The players that you're leaving are top. The manager you're leaving is top. So you do always have a little bit of apprehension and going, I don't know what I'm moving across London. I don't know what I'm getting myself into here. I've never seen a manager so organised and prepared as Jose Mourinho.
Okay.
In terms of planning sessions, moving from one part of the pitch to another, like to set up an organisation. Set up here, ready to train. Okay, that part's done. But we train here, then we move to this pitch, we move to this pitch. It was just all set up.
The structure was impressive.
Yeah. He had his clipboard and he's like, next page, boom, boom. And it looked good. You moved. He would have his reasons why, 100%, because now as a coach, okay, you're going to move here, and it might go like quite easy, going to get a little bit harder, really hard, and then intense. You can have that like kind of carousel of training you do. But he was super organised. And then you go game prep, detail. Sitting in the team meeting, he's like, actually, you have to be careful. He's 1.9 meters or whatever it is, or he's this tall, he can't run, he can't do this, but in detail with everything. Right-footed, he only plays balls inside. You're like, whew. And this is for every player.
Right.
Jose would, break the player down.
Yeah.
So I'm like, wow, he knows everything about him.
Did you notice a difference between Arsene and Jose? For me, when I compare Sir Alex and Arsene, I believe Arsene was more focused on us, the way we play. We're going to deploy our football. This is it.
Yeah.
And whereas Sir Alex would be telling you about the weaknesses of the opposition, where to hurt them.
Yeah.
And also their strongest point.
Of course.
He would warn you and say, watch this player, he's doing this and doing that, he's playing with this one.
Yeah.
And Jose, I would think, would be looks like he's the same. No?
I think when I first went to Chelsea, I probably found it a little bit hard. I went a little bit injured. I had a broken ankle, like pieces of floating bone in my ankle. I was deployed, maybe playing a little bit more from position. I wasn't that marauding fullback where I could bomb up and down, up and down, up and down. I had Robin in front of me.
Right.
And I think Jose was, happy for me to... He probably knew my defensive qualities as well, but I always thought everyone knows me from Arsenal where I was bombing up and down.
Yeah.
But when I went to Chelsea, it was a little bit play from position a little bit. You let Robin, Diddy, and I think it was Joe Cole, or I can't remember who was on the right at the time. It might have been Joe Cole. Let them do the work.
Okay.
You just sit back and defend. I found it a little bit hard at the time, but I certainly understood. Now you see, play from position, you're going to have all the time on the ball, but you're going to find good passes. That was Jose.
Yeah.
In detail, no, we're going to defend with 5 and we're going to attack with 5. And he was the first one that I started to see, tactically, unbelievable. He knew the strength of teams. He knew the weaknesses. He knew playing me quite low and letting the opposite fullback go a little bit higher. They've got a strong right winger. Okay, well, we have 2 against 1 on this side. He can go. Details like that where Arsene, we are Arsenal.
Yes.
We've got the players. We just play.
I was amazed. We wouldn't watch the opposition. I was like, I need this.
Yeah.
I need to do my homework.
Yeah.
I'm a defender. It was weird. But I enjoyed it on the other side, because it was all about us. And we played the Arsenal way. Clearly, we didn't care about the opposition. Going back to Jose, The way he was talking to the press and saying, yeah, I'm taking all the attention for my players to be focused on football and have nothing to worry about. Is it true or is it true?
Yeah. He would say, like, if we're playing, imagine we're playing Manchester United,
Mm-hmm.
and the referee likes to look after Manchester United, or not.
I'm kidding.
Jose will make everyone be aware this referee likes Manchester United and he's for Manchester United. And this is what he was about. And he would tell us before we start training, okay, I'm going to do the press today. We're going to do this in training, blah, 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 blah. But after, boys, I tell you now, you're going to go home, you're going to rest. But you might see me on TV. And what I'm going to say is, I'm protecting you. What I'm going to say is, this referee gave 10 penalties to Manchester United in the last 5 minutes of a game. I'm going to take the pressure off you, and I'm just going to really focus on the ref. Now he's already under a bit of pressure.
Yeah.
So the mind games always started with Jose.
The mind games.
The mind games. The pressure on the ref. We need to get a decision. A pressure on a manager. Whatever that pressure was, Jose would always try to take it away from the players.
That's one part of it. And the other, not the flip side, but the other thing that I see also is to create a togetherness of feeling, increasing that togetherness, like it's us against the rest of the world.
Yeah. I walked into that. So obviously they won the league 2 years in a row before I got there. Playing against Chelsea at the time, when I was at Arsenal playing against Chelsea, I saw a different mood. I saw a togetherness.
Yeah.
I saw something that wasn't there with that group before. And then you go into it and I'm like, oh yeah, this is siege mentality. This is a mentality that we are the bad guys. We are the villains, but we are going to stick together.
Yeah.
And I felt that. It was a real loving environment with the manager, with the coaches.
What about the staff at the training ground as well?
Amazing.
Same, huh?
Amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely elite mentality. Don't get me wrong, we had some, have you heard of Billy Blood? He was a masseur, he was...
Yeah, I saw him on
crazy.
Few videos.
Exactly. So don't get me wrong, we had fun, but Jose would actually say to Bill, go and throw this cream on the player or go and throw this water on his head. Because Jose knew we would all come together as players and we would get Billy back, but it's always the players, we're together. So there's little things like that you didn't understand at the time, but he really got the group together. Really, really got the group together. Players that wasn't playing, I'm not saying enjoyed it, but they would certainly respect him because he was honest.
Yeah.
And at the time, we probably wanted honest managers that would tell you, you're not in the team, this guy's playing better than you. Or the last game you played, they would say, hey, you
yeah.
I don't know if I can swear. So that is what, he was about. He really galvanised a squad and people, warriors that would put their head through a brick wall for him, which is brilliant.
Fantastic. So Ash, we are closing the Premier League chapter and now you're moving abroad. So first at Roma.
Yeah.
Then LA Galaxy.
Yeah.
Quite far. I played in MLS as well. So first of all, Roma, how was your experience playing for Roma when you have Lazio, Roma as a city, your experience in Italy?
Yeah, again, it was a big move. Played at Arsenal, played at Chelsea, lived in London my whole life.
Yeah. It's a big decision, huh?
It's a big decision. It's a different culture. I was going there alone with, no one. I was,
alone.
I was going alone.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was a big move mentally, but I felt I needed it. I felt I needed to leave England. I felt I didn't want to play back in the Premier League. I had some options to continue and stay and play in the Premier League, and I just didn't want to do that. I didn't want to play against Arsenal no more. I didn't want to play against Chelsea. Yeah, the feeling was, okay, let's not be a child. Let's try risk, which it was a risk. A different culture, a different world, a different life, and I loved it.
Did you pick any Italian?
Yeah, I married an Italian.
Va bene, allora. Possiamo fare l'intervista in italiano?
No.
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 Prossima.
Sì. Imperando, my friend. I gambled
Yeah.
going there, but I loved it. I had a manager, Rudy Garcia,
Yeah.
French manager,
Yeah.
and yeah, at the time I probably didn't not respect the league, but my body, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I was probably overweight. I was eating, and it's crazy.
Because of the regime.
Yeah,
I mean, the regime, like the
just only eating pasta.
pasta.
And you know what? My body weren't used to it.
Yeah.
And I put on weight. And I was like, wow, this is not me. Training was a little bit.
I mean, I spent 2 months last summer in Italy and I put on weight.
Did you? See?
Well, but pasta, I mean, it's the primo piatto, pasta, secondo piatto, third piatto.
Yeah, exactly. I put on weight and I wasn't myself.
Right.
And, you know, I do feel I let myself down a tiny bit because I could have just
How old are
reined it
you?
in.
How old are you then?
I was 33.
I feel personally that I overtrain at that time, at that age, you know, because me and you, the physique was an important part of our qualities, you know, be able to run up and down the pitch. And when I got to that age, I trained too much. And on a Saturday, I had no legs, like no freshness.
Yeah.
And in Italy, I know they train you hard.
Yeah, well, it was actually the opposite.
Was it?
Yeah. So I didn't think I trained enough.
Oh. Yeah, because you were overweight, so you thought, I don't burn enough.
Yeah. Training was not where I'm walking off going, whew, that's hard. It was like near enough every day after training. I don't know if you did it. I know it's certainly Italian style culture. What they do is we would run for 20 minutes.
After
Every
session.
Near enough every session.
Nearly.
We put our watch on. You have to hit
Like a warm
7,
down.
basically.
Or do you have to make the miles?
You have to get your heart rate up
Okay.
to 75
Yeah.
for 20 minutes. I was never tired. I'm like, I should be tired. And at night I'm going to the restaurants and eating, and
Yeah.
I just didn't feel myself. I didn't play to the quality I knew I could, and I didn't adjust to the league quick enough. And I was there a year and a half, and yeah, loved the city, loved the culture, loved the people, loved the fans.
MLS. Quick one to LA, Galaxy, Hollywood.
Yes,
You didn't end up doing like Frank Leboeuf, who wanted to become
an actor.
an actor.
No.
No.
I deserved to give myself a bit of peace and quiet. You know, I just I had a new girlfriend at the time.
Right.
You know, and I was just drained and tired of. It's just draining, right? You know, certainly living there as well, because they never leave you alone.
In Rome.
In terms of, they love football, right?
For
So
sure.
wherever you go, they're great with you, but it's just non-stop.
Yeah.
And now I'm getting to an age where I still feel I can
Compete.
and give a bit.
Yeah.
I don't want to go back to England. I don't want to stay in Italy. MLS come about, and I'm like, do you know what? Yeah, why not? And what a city to live. And I said, you know what? I used to go on holiday for 8 years prior to me going to play there. And I loved the city. I knew the city. I had loads of friends over there. And then I knew friends in the team, Steven Gerrard, Robbie Keane, Gio de Santos. I knew these players.
Great squad.
Exactly. So I'm like, okay, me and my girlfriend, let's go and move. I thought a year, and then I'll come back and do coaching. That was the plan. And then just ended up staying there. She loved it. You know, I loved it. You could walk around. No one knew who you were. No one cared.
This is nice.
I enjoyed to go shopping. You know, I enjoyed to go supermarkets. I just enjoyed my life. Yeah, ended up staying for another 2 more years there. 3 years in total. But no, LA was brilliant for me. You know, it's probably when I was there was coming towards the back end of their reign of winning championships. But as a franchise and people, we still speak to people there, staff, absolutely loved it. And thought I was coming back to coach, and then I went to Derby to finish off it.
We've got to talk about England. 107 caps. That's a lot, especially for such a big country. You know, you must have good moments as well as tough moments because you were part of different generations and some very, very good ones. We played against each other. Let's start with the good ones.
The good ones. Ooh.
Memories or players or managers. Let's talk about Sven.
Yeah, he was a great manager. You know, he was like one of the boys. Tried to create an environment that people wanted to join up with England. Maybe before in that previous generation, they didn't like joining up with England, but he wanted to create an environment that we want to come and represent your country. And I tried to respect the Three Lions and the shirt I wore. I never pulled out of squads. I tried to play as much as I can, not for myself, but to try to give back to the country and the managers. That's gave me the opportunity, and he was fantastic. I think we certainly played against you, and we just wasn't good enough. I don't feel, you know. I think we come up against you, and you're playing against Zidane, who, in my opinion, is one of the best ever players. Henri was up top, you know. Desailly at the back, you playing Thuram, I just don't think collectively we was mentally ready. And
Mentally,
but because I think it's similar to now, that because the expectation was so high, you carry that on your shoulders, you carry that weight, and then it starts to become maybe a little bit selfish.
Selfish decisions?
Yeah, on a pitch, which you might not see now, but we had top-class footballers, right?
Selfish decision to protect yourself or to shine?
To shine.
To shine. I thought, you know, from the outside, the fact that you guys from Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal, Man United, you don't get along because you have to fight for the crest. Once you go into national team, it's difficult to create a link. That was my observation. Was there a little bit of this?
When I was in that, I didn't see it.
No?
I got on with all of them. You know,
but maybe others,
no? I didn't see it. I was just, you know, with the Man United players, I'm with Liverpool players, I'm with Tottenham players. You know, I certainly understood that we have to be a group. When I see you on Saturday, we're not friends, but I could easily, you know, transfer that to Saturday, my club.
Yeah.
Now it's England. I want to win and be successful for my country. And what I mean by selfish is, if you look at the individuals we had, footballing wise, they were unbelievable, right?
Unbelievable.
So you talk about a golden generation with, you know, Lampard, Scholes, Gerrard, Rio Ferdinand, Sol Campbell, me,
Bex,
Rooney, Hargreaves, Gary. There's loads,
Michael
and I'm missing people. Michael Owen at the start. If I could really put my finger on it now, I'm like, how many times football's changed a little bit as well? How many times did we keep the ball for 10 passes? I don't think we ever did. I don't think we ever kept the ball because
I think you did, but that's the impression that you have.
It was just play inside, long ball. And now coach, and I'm seeing, and now I watch the senior team now, I'm like, we don't keep the ball enough. We don't keep the ball enough. And was it, and again, that would be a question to ask them, is it because they felt the pressure that they had to do well? Or was it, okay, that was just my decision, I've got the quality to do it, which again is fine.
Yeah.
But the expectation was heavy. And I just played. Listen, I had England fans booing me. I played because I love football. You know, I played because I love the game. I didn't care about whether I got a 4 in a newspaper or an 8. I didn't read them.
Yeah.
I did not care.
Yeah.
But maybe there was people that was a little bit scared, you know, they didn't want, I'm not saying for a rating, but it was just the weight might have been just a little bit too much.
In which tournament you felt the strongest and you felt like we missed that opportunity, we were ready? You know, that was for us.
Yeah.
We had everything.
I actually think my first tournament in Japan.
Yeah.
We lose to Brazil.
Yeah.
I really felt we was ready. And I still feel in my head, I know we didn't. We lost, but I felt if we would have beat Brazil, we would have gone on to win the tournament.
Well, they won it, so...
Exactly.
Yeah.
I really felt... And we watched them. We watched them in the in the knockout stage. They played Belgium. and some players could go and watch, and we're like, okay, we'll go and watch.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
We went to watch them, and it was pouring of rain. Pouring. They beat Belgium, I think maybe 1-0. And it was like a penalty, or Belgium should have had a penalty. We watched them. Pouring of rain. And we're like, wow, Belgium are battering Brazil. And we're like, they can't play in the rain. We hope it rains tomorrow. No, not tomorrow. In our game, we hope it rains. We hope it rains. We hope it rains. They said it was going to rain. We hope it rains. What happened when we played Brazil?
Sunshine.
We come outside, we're like, we all sat on the bench, you know, you do your pre-walk outside, check the pitch. We're sitting on the bench like, what? How are we going to play in this? It's too hot.
It was an early kickoff, no?
Early kickoff.
Yeah.
The Brazilians come out, loving it. And I really felt if we would have beat Brazil, we would have gone on to win the tournament. It's easy to say that, right? But that was a feeling we had as a group. The Euros, when we lost to Portugal on penalties, maybe again. We had a feeling that we had a strong team, but again, we just couldn't get over the line. It was always like one of our key players got injured, or he missed out, or we just couldn't get it over the line.
Where do you want to go? Ashley Cole, where do you want to go? What can we wish you?
Look, I'm enjoying my coaching journey at the moment. I really, really love coaching and being on the grass, but the aspiration is to be a manager. I want to give it a try myself, and, you know, if I failed trying and doing it, but I just feel I have to give it a try. I've, you know, really tried to ground myself and really start at the grassroots level of, you know, the super young age, under 16s, under 15s, 16s at Chelsea, and really learn, find myself as a coach, find my voice, find how I can articulate certain details of information while still being myself. I think this is probably, I don't know, maybe some people might say it's a strength. You know, from the outside, people might go, how's he supposed to talk to his team? How's he supposed to lead a team? He kind of must speak. You know, that's what you get sometimes. You hear that from outside. But
Really?
Yeah. But I learn a lot from, you know, being myself. That's got me quite far in life, and being around people and having good teammates, and because I've always been myself, and I'll never be like some managers are. I'm never going to be able to speak as eloquent as them, but I certainly have a drive to be the best. And I've certainly, so far in my coaching career, I've found a way to try help, develop, push, improve, guide, instill mentalities into players just by being me. I hope you don't only see me now, and you'll see me in, you know, certainly have a plan 2-3 years to one day hopefully get an opportunity to go my own way.
I'm sure you will.
Give it a shot.
I'm sure you will.
Thank you
wish
very
you
much.
all the best.
Cheers, mate.
And all the luck.
Pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, mate.
Thank you.
Cheers.